Imagine a world where World War II ended in 1939. No D-Day, no Pearl Harbor, no atomic bombs. It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But according to the German High Command themselves, this wasn't just possible, it was almost inevitable. In September 1939, as Hitler's Panzers were tearing through Poland, the German Western Front was a ghost town. It was pared to the bone, defended by second-rate troops with barely any ammunition. Facing them was the French army, the most powerful military force in Europe at the time. The French crossed the border. They saw the weakness. They had a 3-to-1 advantage. They did something so baffling that historians still argue about it today. They turned around and went home. Today, we are uncovering the Saar Offensive, the greatest missed opportunity in military history. In 1921, France and Poland signed a pact. If Germany attacked one, the other would strike with full force. On September 1st, 1939, Hitler gambled everything on a lightning war in the east. While 90% of the German Luftwaffe and their best divisions were in Poland, the French mobilization began. On paper, it was terrifying. 40 divisions, 80 artillery regiments, and 40 tank battalions. The plan was simple. Punch through the German Saarland, smash the Siegfried Line, and force Hitler to pull his troops back from Poland. But there was a problem. The French military was a giant stuck in 1918. Their mobilization system was out of date. Their generals still believed in slow, massive artillery barrages. They moved like a glacier in an era of Ferraris. Still, on September 7th, the glacier started to move. 11 French divisions crossed the border. They captured 12 German towns with almost zero resistance. Soldiers walked into villages like Lauterbach and Gersheim, finding them nearly empty. The path to the heart of Germany was wide open. The French were 8 kilometers deep into Germany. The German generals in the west were panicking, waiting for the killing blow. But while the soldiers were advancing, a secret meeting was happening behind closed doors in a small French town called Abbeville. What was decided in that room would not only seal the fate of Poland, but would eventually lead to the fall of Paris itself. But the most shocking part? They didn't tell the Poles. In fact, they lied to them. September 12th, 1931, the Anglo-French Supreme War Council meets at Abbeville. Despite the massive advantage, the command, led by General Maurice Gamelin, decides to halt all offensive actions. Why? Fear. They feared German bombers. They feared a counterattack they couldn't see. Even though they had the Germans 3-to-1, they chose caution. But they didn't tell Poland. Instead, Gamelin sent a message to the Polish Marshal Rydz-Śmigły. He told him that half of his divisions were in contact with the enemy and that the French had already forced the Germans to pull 6 divisions out of Poland. It was a complete fabrication. By the time Poland collapsed in late September, Gamelin ordered his troops to retreat back to the Maginot Line. By October 17th, every French soldier was back in their barracks. The offensive was over. The 2,000 casualties the French suffered brought the world nothing. It was the start of the phony war, a period of waiting that allowed Hitler to regroup, refit, and prepare for his own invasion of France. Was the Saar Offensive just a minor footnote? Not according to the Germans. After the war, during the Nuremberg trials, General Alfred Jodl was asked why Germany didn't collapse in 1939. His answer was chilling. If we did not collapse in 1939, it was only because the 110 French and British divisions in the West remained completely inactive against our 23 divisions. General Siegfried Westphal went even further. He stated that if the French had attacked in full force, the German army could only have held out for 2 weeks. The Saar Offensive remains one of history's most haunting what-ifs. France chose to play it safe, and by doing so, they ensured the war would last 6 more years and claim tens of millions of lives. If you found this look into the shadows of history fascinating, make sure to follow for more. Next time, we're diving into the secret Soviet counterattacks that even Hitler didn't see coming. You won't want to miss it.